Suzuki 650Xt in 2023. When the 650cc version of the V-Strom 1000 hit dealerships in 2004, it was a clear addition to the lineup following the introduction of the larger model in 2002. It began with the same issues as the larger machine. Despite its high riding position and frumpy styling, the aluminum frame and cast wheels indicated that it was always on the touring side of adventure touring. Riders rushed for bikes that gave the impression that they were going on an overland trek to Mali when in fact they were only going to the mall because the V-Strom lacked any real off-road capabilities or appearance. The original V-Strom 650 was an impressive middleweight once you got used to the styling. It had better handling and performance than you might expect from its appearance, and it sold well. The fuel tank's capacity, range, and ground clearance were all increased by a 2011 styling update. However, it wasn't until 2015 that Suzuki introduced the first-generation V-Strom 650Xt, which featured wire wheels and a beak on the nose, that the bike really started to understand the adventure aspect of its nature. 2023 Suzuki V-Strom 650 White Colorway Studio Front Right-Angled Profile with Gold Anodized Wheels. The V-Strom 650 will be available in 2023. Despite the fact that Suzuki's first adventure bike, the Dr. Big, was where it all began, Suzuki that beak had already established itself as the symbol of the entire class. With a complete redesign in 2017, the V-Strom fully embraced its heritage, receiving the same styling on the 2023 model that has remained unchanged for half a decade. The V-Strom 650 has retained the sleeker appearance of the 2014-2019 Volt Strom 1000. Whereas the larger V-Strom 1050 has since become even more closely aligned with the Dr. Big, with a rectangular headlamp and block-like bodywork that pay homage to Suzuki's early adventure bike of the 1980s. Since a new 700cc parallel twin Suzuki adventure bike with more serious off-road capabilities is waiting to replace the V-Strom 650 and compete with the Yamaha Tenere 700, it is unlikely that it will receive a visual update to match the larger model. Aside from the color updates for 2023, the V-Strom 650 models for 2023 are the same as they were in previous years. The only color option for the base model changed from white to blue, and the only color option for the XT changed from blue-silver with blue anodized wheels to white with gold anodized wheels. In the meantime, the XT Adventure keeps going with blue anodized rims, blue graphics, and black paint. Pricing and options. The V-Strom 650 can be had in 3 different versions. Standard costs $8,904, while the XT Adventure costs $10,499. The differences between models aren't big, but they matter. The XT has handguards, spoked-style tubeless wheels, and a lower engine cowl, while the standard V-Strom 650s have wheels with 10 spokes made of cast iron. The V-Strom 650Xt Adventure includes 37-liter panniers, engine guard bars, a handlebar cross brace, and an accessory bar to the XT's equipment. Standard V-Strom 650s are mounted on 10-spoke cast wheels, whereas the XT, which is displayed here, has handguards, spoke-style tubeless wheels, and a lower engine cowl. Due to its road-biased design, cast alloy wheels, and touring-style fairing, the Versys 650 from Suzuki competition Kawasaki has always been the most obvious rival to the V-Strom 650. The V-Strom took on a slightly more rugged appearance with the Versys 650Xt's introduction and 2017 refresh, But buyers looking for a twin-cylinder adventure bike with real off-road chops are likely to turn instead to Yamaha's much newer Tenere 700. The V-Strom 650 is directly rivaled in Europe by BMW's F700 GS, which is also a much more recent model. Triumph's Tiger Sport 660 is also a very convincing alternative if you stick to the road. The Tiger 850 Sport is a slightly faster, more expensive alternative with similar capabilities for light dirt roads.